फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello everyone, you're watching Cricket Next. I'm Suramya Kaushik. It's time for us to talk about Basball because after a thumping victory over England, everyone's talking about whether there is something called Basball or not. Well, in the five-match test series, India are leading 2-1, and now the focus will be on to the fourth test. But let's hear it out from Sahil Malhotra, Jamie Alter, and Taus Rizvi whether Basball is even a thing or not. Well, Sahil, after the Rajkot test, everyone's saying that if Basball is a thing, then there's also a Jazzball thing. Now, ऐसे तो आपको बहुत सारी चीजें सुनने को मिल जाएंगी, but there's one thing which is, very concerning, is that after each and every victory, after each and every accomplishment of a player like Yashasvi Jaiswal, England players are saying, "Oh, this is not something new," because they're all just copying our style of cricket. Is that for real?
I think if they're like cocky enough to kind of make those claims, then probably Virendra Sehwag has been doing that for the longest time, which we have seen in Test cricket. He's the one who changed the way Test cricket was played, especially for a top order batter. Yes, Gilchrist did that on occasions for Australia at number 6-7, but Sehwag was the one who kind of led that template into mainstream about how to go about smashing the red ball occasionally. And inspiring someone like David Warner to take up the longest format, a person who was considered a shorter format player. So if that is their claim, then I think Sehwag kind of did it, or probably Viv Richards did it more often during his days. मतलब इतना मैं पीछे जाऊंगा तो फिर जेमी भाई ताउस के पास तो मेरे से ज्यादा instances होंगे. And this is just like England being England. No, this is like typical form mentality. Ki even when you're on the back foot, you will kind of pretend that you are still in control of the game. This is the comment which was made by Ben Duckett after England folded the way they did on day 3, and he had the audacity to say that Yashasvi Jaiswal played how he did because he probably saw them playing. That is not the case, boss. If you look at Jaiswal's previous double 100 or the 50 in the Hyderabad test, this is how he bats, and he is a better version of Basball. This is what they need to do. They just can't be a compulsive hitter. You need to be a smart, intent player. That is what Jaiswal is showing. And Basball हो गया. मतलब मैं तो irritate हो गया उन सुन के. तभी मैं press conference में I make it a point to not even mention the word, and when I'm mentioning England, I say the intent which England say. हो गया ये, हम लोग ने हुआ बना दिया, इंग्लिश मीडिया ने हुआ बना दिया. Basball 12,000 टेस्ट रन बनाने वाला आदमी एक पैर पे जाके रिवर्स कप मारने जा रहा है. वो Basball है, वो दुर्गति है टेस्ट क्रिकेट का जो वो करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. वो सीधे बल्ले से खेल सकता है यार. So like compulsive hitting, to me, Basball makes no sense. That is what Rohit Sharma kind of, that was a tactical masterclass on both days, day 3, day 4. They kind of understood and realized that if you kind of apply that stranglehold around the boundaries, not allow them to score boundaries, they don't have that second gear है ही नहीं, तो वहां वो फंसते हैं और 2 इनिंग में फंसा है. इसीलिए अब रांची में और मजा आएगा.
Yes, it's going to be fun in Ranchi. Jamie, Michael once said that it's disrespectful when you say that, someone's copying our style of play. And he clearly pointed on Ben Duckett, when he mentioned that Jaiswal, the way he played was just a copy of England cricketers' style. Now, I really believe what Michael once said. What are your thoughts on this one? Because it's seen that all the England cricketers, after this defeat, are not in a position to accept that the way they played was totally pathetic and disappointing.
See, of all the various media in the world, the one I have the least regard for is the English media. बहुत बार कह चुका हूँ अलग लाइव शोज पर, उंगली बहुत उठाते, हमसे jingoistic तो British media है. Let me briefly, Tosbhai will understand. Let me take you back to the 90s when I first started watching England teams. English sport has not won anything ever. ठीक है, वो 2019 का World Cup was the first trophy they won since the 66, I think, FIFA World Cup. ठीक है, तो a generation is used to their teams losing. So this is why with the grey weather overhead, they like to have lukewarm beer. ये बहुत ही pessimistic by nature. इसमें कोई गलती नहीं है. जब आपका देश ही काफी साल से या आपकी डीएनए में being pessimistic है, तो आपका चल रहा है. फिर हुआ क्या सुरम्या, 2005 में एशेज जीत गए. इनके फैंस मीडिया, अरे बाप रे हम तो एक्चुअली गुड टीम बन गए, ये कब हुआ? तो पिछले 19 साल से इनके क्रिकेट फैंस, इनकी मीडिया, दे डोंट नो व्हाट टू मेक, बिकॉज़ दे हैडंट वन द एशेस फॉर आई थिंक व्हाट 27 20 मे बी 3 डेकेड्स। अब अचानक उस ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम पे गति पे रोक लगा दिया जो भाई दे डन एवरीथिंग। सो 2005 ऑनवर्ड अब इनके छाती थोड़े फूलने लगे, ठीक है, ये वो बट द पॉइंट इज दिस सेम बगर ऑन आवर स्क्रीन 2 years ago was praising Joe Root for these shots. So I am not giving any importance to Michael Vaughan. I've had the misfortune to interview him. और ये पहला, उस टाइम ये एक्टिव प्लेयर थे, इस इंसान ने जो टोन मुझसे यूज किया गया था, ठीक है, व्हाट डिड यू से बिफोर वी वेंट लाइव? यू सेड जेमी ऑलवेज कम्स विद स्टैट्स। मैं इस डफर से, और मैं बोलूंगा, मैं इसको डफर बोलूंगा, ठीक है, इसने मेरी बेइज्जती कराई, मैं इसकी इस डफर की बात करूंगा। आई एम डाइग्रेसिंग। मैं क्रिक इन्फो का रिपोर्टर था, एनसीए में ही आया था कुछ काम से, मैं पूरा यार तौस भाई यू नो और जर्नलिज्म ग्राउंडिंग्स, मैं शीट वीट स्टैट्स वैट सब लेके गया था। मैंने इसका इंटरव्यू लिया, इसने मुझे 20 मिनट दिए। उस बीच जब मैंने एक सच्चाई बताया इस इंसान को, इसने कहा ये कौन है? ही टेल्स मी प्लीज कम एंड डू सम रिसर्च एंड कम बैक विद फैक्ट्स। तो उस दिन से लिए ये मैं बात कर रहा हूँ 2008-9 की, मेरे पास इस इंसान के लिए कोई टाइम नहीं है। एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू, जस्ट लाइक द ग्रेट शील बेरी, वन ऑफ द फाइनेस्ट क्रिकेट राइटर्स, this man, and like Michael Vaughan, was praising this shot. When it goes for 6 in England, it's the greatest shot.
Remember.
So I would request this show to not even go back to what a fool like Michael Vaughan wants to say. Michael Vaughan को इंडियन ऑडियंस समझ आ गया, ये इंडियन पैसे इतना चूसता है, जब इसको इंडियन ऑडियंस, इसको क्रिक बस से पैसे चाहिए, तब ये आके इस टीम की तारीफ करेगा। So let's please give no time on this show to Michael Vaughan. The bigger picture is that हाँ, अब जो बेसबॉल को एक ट्रिक लगा था विशाखापट्टनम में, अब इसको रांची की धूल में उसको दफनाया गया, ठीक है, दैट्स द बिगर पॉइंट। माइकल वॉन, शील बेरी, सब जिनको पैसे मिलते हैं चीजें बोलने के लिए, अगर ये चल गए और ये सीरीज जीत गए, तो यही माइकल वॉन बोलेगा, बॉस दिस इज द ग्रेटेस्ट थिंग सिंस स्लाइस्ड ब्रेड। दिस रम्या इज व्हाई आई एम टेकिंग दिस नेगेटिव टोन, क्योंकि ब्रिटिश मीडिया, और अब ये प्लेयर तो नहीं रहे, ये कोचिंग में नहीं आया, ये इंसान मीडिया में आ चुका है, राइट? He can go back and forth with Piers Morgan all they want. For me, they are irrelevant. Damn good batsman, very good. लेकिन जब ये मीडिया, thank you sportsman, जब ये मीडिया में आते हैं तो इनकी जमीर बिक चुकी है। Let's not go into it. Look at his timeline. It will take you 10 minutes to find timeline. जब इसने जो रूट की बैटिंग की तारीफ करी, जब ये रिवर्स स्वीप मारते, अचानक आपकी टीम 2 मैच हार गई, तो अब ये अप्रोच बकवास है। ऐसा कुछ नहीं। This is just my view on this. So personally, I don't want to spend any more. I've already given too much importance to Michael Vaughan from personal bias. But my point is, they flip-flop more than our Hindi news channel anchors here. ये fact है।
No, I completely agree with that, Jamie, because जब जो रूट अच्छा खेल रहे थे तब आपने बोला कि oh, this is the finest shot that we have ever seen in Test cricket, and a couple of days later, when you saw the same shot on which he got out, you said this is the stupidest shot that is ever seen. So obviously, contradictory statements, but all of those statements lead us to only one point, Taus, where we're just talking about whether Basball is even a thing or not, because the way Yashasvi Jaiswal has played, Indian audience specifically, I know a lot of people from other parts of the world are also talking about Yashasvi Jaiswal, but I'll stick to the Indian fans, because now they are saying that, see, we won't accept Basball just like a big thing. We'll also talk about Jaiswal, because if Yashasvi Jaiswal can bat like this, which means any team, any player can bat like this, and English cricket really doesn't deserve a credit for that.
Absolutely. I was laughing at the thumbnail. Is Bazball a fraud? I mean, that was so funny. And also, I was laughing at Ben Duckett. I mean, how can you say that this guy is copying? Have you ever seen this guy? I mean, how he used to bat? IPL देखा उसने कभी? I mean, IPL तो खेलता भी नहीं है Ben Duckett. तो क्या मतलब? How can you say that? Yeah, it's funny that Bazball. I've always said, I mean, आप प्रीवियस शोज में आप निकाल के देखेंगे कि आप बैसबॉल चलेगा इंडिया में. आई हैड सेड कि बहुत डाउटफुल है, क्योंकि अगर आप एक ही पैटर्न लेके चलेंगे, आई हैव ऑलरेडी सेड इन द शोज बिफोर, आप एक पैटर्न लेके चलेंगे, सेट पैटर्न, तो वो काम नहीं होता, स्पेशली ऑन दीज काइंड ऑफ विकेट्स. Basball might work on a fast track where Joe Root, somebody who was playing who was successful in playing those reverse sweep, putting it over the third man's head. straight into the stands. That works when the ball is it's coming at a good pace. But when you play on Indian grounds, जहाँ पर ball reach भी नहीं हो रही है बैट्समैन के पास, low रह रही है, difficult है यार. I mean, so it's completely fraud. I would say fraud. और हम जो use कर रहे हैं बार बार कि यार bass ball ओवररेटेड है. आप एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते उनको जाके, क्योंकि आपके पास कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं, आपके पास विजन नहीं, आपके पास एक प्लान नहीं, आपके पास सिर्फ एक प्लान है कि बैस बॉल एक तरीके से खेलो. बट क्या आपको ड्रॉ करना है मैचेस, वेदर यू वांट टू विन मैचेस और वेदर यू वांट टू लूज, व्हाट इज योर फोकस? नो गेम प्लान, नो रोड मैप. I mean, they are looking completely confused, and I'm sure this is because they are here. I mean, they have a feeling that they are entertaining the crowd right now. Their fans who have come all the way, all the way from England, and I feel sorry for them. तो इसमें ये भी एक फैक्टर है कि भाई बैसबॉल इसलिए चल रहा है उनके लिए एंटरटेनमेंट फैक्टर कि दे हैव नथिंग टू लूज. WTC में कहीं से भी वो नजर नहीं आ रही कि फाइनल में पहुंचेंगे, या कोई भी एक इशारा मिल जाए कि यार 5-0 सीरीज है, अच्छी बड़ी सीरीज, यू कैन if you go and win or draw this series, you have a chance, but then they are out of the race, right? तो they are just enjoying the game यार, they are not serious. और जेमी भाई वही बोल रहे थे, गोल्फ खेलने चले गए थे दुबई, ये बंदे लोग तो बैसबॉल क्या गोल्फ बॉल भी खेल रहे लोग. सो आई दे आर नॉट सीरियस अबाउट क्रिकेट राइट नाउ.
Okay, you talked about entertaining the audience. Well, let's ask this to K. Srinivasra. Hi, Srini. Welcome to the live show.
Hey.
Srini, we're just talking about, Test cricket, and of late people are talking that how this format has become interesting and exciting because the way England team plays. But I found West Indies versus Australia Test match also very entertaining and exciting. There wasn't any baseball involved. So do you think that Basball deserves all the credit for making a test format exciting?
Yeah, so okay. I always kind of I had always believed that the earlier version of how we perceived Basball, as in the fact that you got to go out there and score more. That is how in people's mind how people thought of Basball was to go out there and score aggressively, put runs on board far more quickly than what was being done otherwise. And from whatever little I had managed to gather, that was never the case. It was always about kind of go there and play remorseless cricket. Okay, play cricket without the fear of kind of having to give up or losing or whatever. So let's say if you are left with 500 or 550 plus runs to chase and 6 sessions to go, that 550 plus is like kind of obviously I'm going to give it to the side that's bowling, and the test match is not there to be won. That's where the concept kind of comes in, where you kind of go and you play like you have nothing to lose. Yeah, that you lose or win again doesn't matter. Now it's like this: you live by the sword, you die by it. Okay, that is for England team management, Brendan McCullum, Ben Stokes, and the England Cricket Board to understand whether this concept is going to work for them hereafter on the longer run or not. Let's be very honest, England at the end of the day have been poor travelers. They've just been very good with this concept at home, as long as they've been at home. And again, that also India came very close to breaking that barrier. Okay. But let's give it to them. At home, they've played some priceless test cricket. And we cannot deny the fact that we have enjoyed watching England play test matches when they are playing at home. So let's give them that credit. And if it has not worked, it is for the team management to decide. I'm not going to go and say Basball kuch nahi hai, isko, throw it out of the window. I don't know. I mean, depends on what they are thinking, where they are coming from, with the kind of players. Think about a Johnny Bairstow in your squad. How else are you going to play your test cricket? How else do you handle a Bairstow? There is no other way, so you probably are taking a certain approach, also depending on what kind of talent that you have at your disposal. I was listening to Jamie talk about Michael Vaughan. I am like completely convinced, like these guys from England, and I'll add Australia, for the kind of comments that they make, especially when they lose, and even otherwise, as Jamie rightly said, These guys have mastered the art of, chavi maroing Indian fans on Twitter and knowing what sells and what doesn't sell, and that engagement. There is no difference between this guy and some social media influencer, who's basically using some clickbait to kind of engage with fans. So, agar mujhe seriously, if I want to listen to somebody's views on English cricket, I'm going to listen to Michael Atherton and I'm going to listen to Nasir Hussain. So
Hmm.
that much is pretty clear. Now, having said that, it is not right to judge Basball based on the loss that England. Who knows? Perhaps them inside their dressing room is that okay, like we will not change our strategy, we will not change our approach for until the end of 2024. This is how we want to play our cricket. If this doesn't work, we'll take a fresh call 2025 onwards. Every team goes in with a plan, with a
Hmm.
proper thought process. Wrong or right, it is for us to judge what happened in the game, not what is circumventing the game, because again, that is about where the team management is coming from. For example,
Yeah.
personally, I don't agree with Rahul Dravid's philosophy as coach. But as I said, they have won this test match, and full credit to, I just said it also. England did not lose to Team India as much as they lost to Azad Maidan. So that's the fact, and I mean, what works. I mean, and let's stick to that.
If I can just
Yeah.
just briefly ask the producer to bring up that last graphic, and I'll just add exactly what Srini put so aptly. Okay, while you were talking, Srini, I did the math here. Take it. Let's not, and this is for our viewers. I know we all remember this. I hope we all remember this. Before this, again, I said last show कि मैं baseball शब्द का उपयोग नहीं करूंगा. I think that term pisses off people. I wanted to say the New England approach, just like Sahil mentioned, but हो गया. I'll use baseball. Pre-baseball, England had won 1 of 17 test matches. Post-baseball, look at this. Look at this graphic. It's a fantastic graphic. Do you see a single series defeat in there? There's not a single bloody series defeat on that graphic. They have won 15 of 21 test matches. Look at that. That is brilliant. So it's convenient to now question Bazball or the term, but the term has worked. How else do you explain? One win out of 17 to 15 out of 21. Is that not a dramatic turnaround? So, like you said, don't judge. जो लोग बात कर रहे, Ben Duckett had India pissing their pants. Forget what he said. It's a ludicrous comment. But as a concept, Bazball, I personally find it brilliant. Like Srini said, it's making us sit up and watch, Ireland are playing England in a one-off test match. Why the hell would I ever watch that match? But I thought, by Bazball to Ireland ki hosh faakte kar dega. Aur main dekhne gaya ye. So if it's bringing me, who doesn't follow the England team much, to want, it works, and again, India will win this series. But like Ben Stokes said, there's 2 test matches left. So it's convenient to piss on Bazball right now after Rajkot loss. But look at it. Look at this graphic. I do not see a single series loss in there.
Which means that this
I mean,
approach
let's
has
not
worked
forget
for
that
the Indian.
we have raved, Ben Stokes' captaincy, the aggression, how he's changed English cricket for the better, what he's brought on board. We all have been like fascinated by what England has done with Test cricket. It's just that the results have not shown outside of England as much as they've shown at home. But so be it. That's why I said that. But not all is
Yeah.
wrong. By the way, just adding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We'll come to this point later on in the show also. Not every cribbing is
Yeah.
wrong. I mean, some bit of cribbing. Like for example, Ben Stokes talking about umpire's call. I have been. I agree with it. But we'll talk about it when the subject comes.
Yeah. Okay, Sahil, you were in Rajkot when the third test match was going on. I want to know from you on day-to-day basis, how was England cricketers' approach and how was England cricketers' attitude towards the game? Because we know from the first day till the last day of this test match, things changed gradually. Nobody was expecting England to play this way, but that eventually happened. So what was the attitude of the England players? Because right now the reports that we are seeing, it seems that they're unhappy, and obviously they're making some claims about the buy calls, the decisions and all of that, not ready to accept the defeat on face of it. So how was the attitude?
See, England probably got off to one of the better starts for a away side. 33 for 3 on this Rajkot pitch was a brilliant start. Like Pujara was batting just meters away from where action was unfolding, and he had a worried look on his face when I told him the score that it's 33 for 3 in the first hour, and now Jadeja has come out to bat. So it was worrying, right? Jadeja and Rohit were out there in the middle, Yashasvi Jaiswal and Dhruv Jurel to follow, and then no Akshar Patel means you have slightly longish tail. Even with Ashwin around, you didn't have that much depth. But what India did after that was a dramatic and a very commendable turnaround with the bat, 204-run partnership, probably one of the better partnerships in the series. I would say the best partnership in the series so far. But until day two, at the end of day two, it was England who were calling the shots. At 200 for 2, the rapid 100 by Ben Duckett, a very clueless approach by India because they kind of leaked runs by the boundaries. It was England who were in complete control of that test match. It was day 3 where India did something in that change room after that match, after that day, because they came out better prepared. They plugged the boundaries. They didn't allow boundaries to happen. The moment that happened, the moment the boundaries, रोहित का opportunity ठीक है, वो तो मतलब rub of the green जाता है. ऐसे तो Dhruv Jurel was dropped twice, तो 14 रन और कम कर लो फिर. Yeah. So coming back to the point, day three probably was the moving day, which is called in a test match. But I would say it was the moving day when it comes to a series, because in this series, day 3 of the third test was bang in the middle of the series. और हर अवे साइड के लिए ना इंडिया में आके एक दिन आता है जहां पे बॉस यू गेट दैट फीलिंग कि बॉस आज हर बाहर की टीम को अपनी औकात दिख गई है. लाइक यू फील योर वर्थ व्हेन यू दे वन डे हर सीरीज में एक ऐसा आता है. एंड डे 3 वाज दैट डे फॉर इंग्लैंड, बिकॉज right from the start to the end, from what India did with the ball, starting with Bumrah and Kuldeep, then what Yashasvi Jaiswal did later in the day, that was a fantastic response by India. And England didn't quite recover from that blow because their approach was simple in both the innings, and India stuck to their plan. I said it in a couple of shows before this show that, I kind of from some distance, I don't know what's happening inside the change room, but I get that impression the moment you stop those boundaries, they're not too much of a single double kind of side. They want to feel bat on ball. They want those boundaries. The moment you stop those, Ben Duckett was raving about his 100. I agree, it was a fantastic 100. But day 3, when he scored less than run a ball, boss, he was struggling out there. He was feeling iffy, itchy. He wanted to get that boundary. That is why he went for that push over cover, which was probably a wide delivery. That was a soft dismissal. But what happened before that delivery was probably led to that false shot. And that is how you can kind of curtail England's new approach. Stop the boundaries. They'll get frustrated because not everyone has the match temperament of a Ben Stokes. I'll be very honest. Even in this new approach, Ben Stokes takes his time early on. He knows when to switch on the beast mode. And that is what Jaiswal does. That is what he has been doing in his test career so far. But for the other players, it's just my way or the highway. There's no middle ground. And on pitches like these, where you get some more purchase for the slower bowlers, low and slow ho jata hai day 3, day 4 pe. These are not the roads you make back in England now, or the ones you played in Pakistan. These are different surfaces which need a slightly tweaked approach. So Bazball is just not mindless hitting. They want a result. They actually want a result of a test match. They don't want test matches to be boring draws. So for results to happen, you need to be tighter in your approach and just not look for boundaries. That is what I felt in Rajkot at least. Boundary roko or inko thoko. But I feel that's a good approach to kind of keep them quiet for the remainder of the series.
The only problem, Sahil, was that it took Rohit Sharma 35 bloody overs to figure that out. We were sitting here on this show saying, "Ye banda, so great, like great comeback. Oh, Rohit ki tareef, bhai. 35 over में 6 रन प्रति ओवर है, तब कहाँ था तुम्हारा proactiveness? Hats off for getting it back. But why could we sitting here saying just cut off the sweep and reverse sweep? He'll do it. The moment he did it, hats off to you for having, like you said, the moving day of this series. But did it need to take a Ben Duckett 100 for you to realize that? I have questions over Rohit's captaincy here.
Just before Surama, you move to other three, like just quickly, but that's how Rohit's captaincy has been, especially in tests. Very reactive kind of captain, right? And from what I have gathered, like obviously Srini, Tausbai and JB would know more about him as a player because seen him from younger days very closely. But from what I have seen of him as captain, he's a very reactive captain who would plan everything in his head before he comes onto the field. But अगर वो field पे कुछ out of syllabus आता है, वहाँ फंस जाता है. मतलब वो proactiveness आपको वहाँ नहीं दिखती, and it's not helped by the fact that you have a very meticulous planner in Rahul Dravid in the change room. You don't have a Shastri who would say like ठोको, मारो, तोड़ो. Like वो थोड़ा proactiveness कम दिखता है, इसीलिए it took them 35 overs and probably that one night sleep to kind of come better prepared and then just blow England away.
But at the end, we know that how Team India played and how they have won this Rajkot test. That was one thing that I'm really keen to know about is the way Yashasvi Jaiswal's batting. It's not a very common sight these days that you see a batter making a double century in each and every test match. Two tests have happened so far where he has batted really well, and now people are talking about Jaiswal. I want to know from you: is this comparison even fair? The people that they are, making Basball versus Jaisball. Do you think this is even a fair comparison to make?
I don't know why comparison. Why do compare? I mean, Jaiswal is playing in his own way. I mean, see, he was never like this. He was a technically right player who used to play through the ground initially in the initial days when he was playing for club cricket or school cricket. Before becoming a mature player, before gaining that strength, yeah, before building up those small muscles, he used to play through the ground. He used to be a scrawny guy, not a brawny one. Like अभी भी थोड़ा better shape में है, almost close to Pandya, but then he's got the power now. So yeah, I mean unfair. I mean they can't be comparison here. He's playing in his own way. He's worked on it. He's worked with Zubin Barocha at the. I was talking to Sahil yesterday. He's worked a lot after IPL, before IPL at the Talegaon Rajasthan Royals ground in near Nagpur. So he's worked on each and every area of the game. So I wouldn't say. I mean comparison. I mean here the whole team, England team is playing baseball or one style of cricket. Here, Jaiswal is playing his style of cricket, jazz ball, and it has improved. In a very he's improved in a different ways, in different styles, different occasion. He's built up to it. He's improved, worked on it. That's why he's come here and dominating James Anderson, making him look like a CC in front of a legend. I mean, just look at that. So Jaiswal, I would say it would be unfair to compare these the two teams. This guy has a plan. England doesn't have a plan whether to win or whether to. This guy has a plan to at least make a career out of it, become one of the legends of the game in future. So he's just enjoying his game and nothing different. He will improve. I hope so. He does this kind of batting in England, English conditions, or maybe Sena countries. So I mean, comparison. I don't know why people are comparing. Just enjoy
Hmm,
him, yeah.
Exactly.
That's all bad, yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I would love
And
to tell one thing about Jaiswal. The quote that he gave, he said that I love to work hard, and that's why I can't lose any of the opportunities. One thing that I really loved in that quote was he said that I've always worked hard for each and everything, for even catching a bus, for an auto, for a train. So for all of these things, when I've worked hard, so I think this is a very big opportunity for me to represent my nation and play well. So that's why I'm working very hard each and every day in the nets, and that's why my results are coming. And I think he said that I think this work is just equivalent to what I did in catching trains and autos and buses. And I love that quote, and it says a lot about him. How he wants to play and how he wants to represent the country. Well, we'll move to the rapid fire round, but before that, Srini wanted to say something, so we'll go to Srini and then we'll move to our rapid fire round. Srini, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the last one is concerned, that is what 60% of India does. Works very hard for a living. He's
Yeah.
just a representative of the mass that India is in terms of how people lead their daily lives. And ये शायद ये quote ज़्यादा England के लिए था, more than 60% of India. That said, second is let's not forget Kuldeep Yadav, brilliant in the way that he kind of carried himself in this test match. Literally made them dance. 200 तो यशस्वी ने पहले टेस्ट में भी मारा था. तो हमें इस बात का तो बिल्कुल अभी डाउट नहीं है कि in conditions like these, what kind of a talent Yashasvi is. Obviously, we'll kind of come to judge him when he travels overseas. But let's not forget the two in important ingredients that helped us, kind of put in renewed enthusiasm was obviously the way Kuldeep has been bowling. That confidence that gives a lot of hope. And second is, oh my God, Sarfraz finally gets a chance. And I mean, again, when they're relatively obviously lesser number of runs and etc etc, but the positivity that knock infused, in the so if Jaiswal's double was actually taking taking the game away from England quite literally. It was Sarfraz's half century that was mentally pushing them into a corner, and I think
Yeah.
a little bit of credit there also. So yeah, I mean Jaiswal, though, obviously no doubt about it.
Yeah, it was a complete team effort. And now let's move to our rapid fire round and let's take the first question or comment. Right now, Ankur Biswas, the first comment that I can see on my screen, he's saying not to forget he struggled in South Africa Test series, so give him time to excel. Yeah, Ankur. Next question, please. Zing Things, the user name of a viewer, is saying baseball is Sehwag ball originally, and only one or two batters should do it, not the whole team. I think Zing Ting Sahil started off today's discussion on this note only. He talked about Sehwag at length. He talked, how the batters of the previous time used to bat and play Test cricket. It is just a thing that started from there on. Well, let's to move to the next one and let's see what's the question about. SK Anand is saying, can England team 100 overs on a true test, or can England team even play 100 overs on a true test wicket? Sahil,
No, they can't.
Jamie?
Max 80.
Okay, Jamie?
On current form, absolutely not. In pre India tour form, yes, because they've come, they've not come that close, but they've had their chances. But I just think, like, I mean, Srini just talked about Jaiswal. What Jaiswal has done, and I know we've talked a lot about him. What he's done is he's put a massive dent into their confidence. And this is, again, I'm saying this for our viewers. I get the sense that most viewers just think that, like Srini mentioned, baseball is just batting. It's just one part of baseball. Baseball, if I were to sum it up for our viewers, it is strategic risk taking. One part of that is going at 4.5, 5 per over, right? But it's a philosophy. What Jaiswal has done is he's dented that concept कि हमारे bowlers भी baseball खेलते हैं. Bowling is also baseball. It's being aggressive with field placements. It's changes, right? What
Yeah.
Jaiswal, of course, there's Sarfaraz and Jadeja and Rohit. What Jaiswal has done now, he's forced them to think, or the lines we're bowling, were they good? Because suddenly इनके plans खराब हो चुके हैं. So can they bat? I think so. But what I want to see is in Ranchi more than Dharamshala, because Ranchi will be a lot like, I think, like this Rajkot wicket. How are they going to come? Forget the batting. Batting might do it. How is the bowling part of baseball, which has been so vital? We only talk about baseball as the batting aspect. Can these bowlers come back? This depleted bowling attack come back, knowing that boss, this 22-year-old boy has taken 2 double centuries off us? That is what I'm more keen to see when it comes to what this England team can do or not do.
Okay. Next question, please. Ujjwal Mora is saying it doesn't matter how positive and optimistic you are as a team, but when you throw away the advantage, it gets you at the end. It was evident in their body language. He means the England team. Taos?
Absolutely. I mean, these guys. I don't think so. I mean, England did not even regret like that the way they were playing. I mean, even if they lost that game, the last game, there was no. They were not down. I mean, I think Sahil would tell us better exactly how what was their body language. I found them to be not really worried about what exactly happened. They took the loss sportingly. ठीक है होता है moral victory थी at the end of the day. आप कोशिश किए आप आगे तक मैच लेके गए चौथे दिन तक लेके गए एटलीस्ट दैट वाज बी कि ठीक है पांचवें दिन तक नहीं कि एटलीस्ट टी के बाद तक तो खेलो सो दैट वाज समथिंग आई थिंक पॉजिटिव बॉडी लैंग्वेज तो मुझे दिखी नहीं मुझे ऐसा ही लगा कि दे वर जस्ट ओके विथ व्हाटएवर दे वेंट थ्रू दे वेंट विद द फ्लो आई गेस
Okay. Next question, please. Ravi Shankar Kumar. Can we have the comment, please? Yes. Ravi Shankar Kumar saying we should not underestimate England cricket team. Yes, we won 2 tests, but we haven't won the series yet. Still, two matches are left in the series. Scoreline 2-1, but we need to be alert. Okay, I'll put this question for quick answers from each and every person here present on our panel. Starting with Jamie, do you think that England will bounce back in the next match?
There's every belief because, like we discussed, cricket is such a funny game. I think Sahil mentioned that he's going to Ranchi. I'm very jealous because this is the most important Test match in Bazball's history. This is when legacies will be defined. Like I said, they've not lost a series since Bazball. This one match is their biggest test. We've talked about the jingoistic media questions. उठे हैं, Sheil Berry, Michael Vaughan, सबके मामा अब्बू सब सवाल पूछ रहे हैं. If they lose in Ranchi, ऐसी तलवारें निकलेंगे इस England team के लिए, right? People will, at their own peril, people will disregard what this team has achieved based on one series loss. Why? Because up till now they've not lost a series. Of course, English fans will feel like a 2-2 draw in the Ashes is a loss, but the scoreline says कि
Yeah.
अभी तक 21 टेस्ट मैच में ये सीरीज नहीं हारे हैं. So for that one reason, I'm not yet. But they've been smashed. Like what happened on day 3, like Sahil mentioned, that should haunt them for the rest of their lives if they lose this series. You cannot go from 207 for 2 to a team without Ashwin to 319 all out. The series, to my mind, was sealed right there. But I still won't rule these jokers out yet. No.
Sahil, will you rule England team out right now?
I would, yes, but the mockery which is expected to happen in the Indian camp now, because there are strong whispers of Jasprit Bumrah being rested for the next test. If that happens, it will be the biggest. It will be a joke if that happens, because you wouldn't want to rest Bumrah before taking that unassailable lead. That to me will be the biggest blunder which India would commit. Yeah, I'm just coming on Jasprit Bumrah. That would be the biggest blunder. There's nothing confirmed yet, but I'm staring strong whispers now. I've checked with a couple of people, and a press release could well be likely later in the day. That is what I'm hearing. So yeah, something is cooking when it comes to Bumrah. But if that happens, I think it will be the biggest. I think what? मतलब उससे stupid decision नहीं होगा until and unless Bumrah himself has asked for it. 10 days, you played a test match. After 10 days, you bowled like 8-9 overs in the second innings. Yesterday, you had good gap, one extra day. You could have recovered in time. This is test cricket. You are the vice captain of the Indian cricket team. There's no rest. There are no Srini's line. No, there are no free lunches in life. This is a test series, 5 test series against England. Boss, you need to win 4-1. You need to erect that tombstone of RIP Basball in Ranchi. There is no waiting for Dharamshala. 2-all, you go to Dharamshala. England will be a different beast. They'll eat you up in Dharamshala. They'll eat you up if they go 2-all in Dharamshala. You just can't go 2-all. You have to win the next test. That's it. Play Bumrah, please. If anyone is listening, play him.
Yep.
Okay, well, I completely agree with what Vian is saying. He's saying no chance of workload management during such a high-profile match and a series. You should play your best team in the next match. Srini, what Sahil mentioned right now, he's saying that it might happen that Bumrah can miss the upcoming test. What do you think? What team India should do then if they're thinking to rest Bumrah? First of all, they should not. But even if they think of doing that, what should be their approach to win the test match?
This keep the winning of the test match aside. To my mind, he's still the best bowler, right? In your 11, potential 11. You have a series to win, okay? And Ranchi is your best chance to do that. And simply for that reason, why will I not take my best bowler into the scheme of things? Why will I, unless he's grappling with an injury? If that is the case, obviously you can't do much. If there is an injury, if there is a stress related injury, whatever it is, if there's an injury, you can't do much. But for forcefully to apply that that term workload management, आपका player अगर अच्छा खासा ठीक है, if he's fine, you just want to go out of your way and to rest him, keeping what in mind? The IPL? That I think will be very unfortunate. I mean, this is what it is. Don't play him any more cricket until we go to Australia. We don't need Jasprit Bumrah until we go to Australia.
Yeah.
You want to take him for T20 cricket, to my mind, it doesn't even matter. Like TCAP, the World Cup. But to my mind, even that doesn't matter. The point is, this is the test series you want to win, period.
Yeah.
And why will you not play your best bowler?
No, just adding before Jamie and Taus could answer. I think the biggest point is not because of what Jasprit Bumrah is bringing to the table as a premier fast bowler, number one ranked in ICC test rankings and all that jazz, but he has got a comment just came. That's why I raised my finger. He is into England's head right now after the Vizag test. They play him with some sort of tentativeness, which is very rare to see, especially with the approach which they've had. Again, I won't use the Bazball word. Just the approach which they have had. They don't get bogged down by oppositions. They don't fear opponents. They don't fear bowlers. They're not worried about even reverse scooping or scooping someone like a Pat Cummins in the Ashes. But again, this guy is in their head. And Jamie, I was talking about a series loss. Forget a series loss. If they lose in Ranchi, it will be the first instance. Ben Stokes will lose 3 back-to-back test matches. He only lost 2 back-to-back test matches last year at Edgbaston and Lords, and after that here in Vizag and Rajkot. So if it happens in Ranchi, legacies will take a twist and a turn, like for not good for sure.
Yep.
Well, let's see what will happen there in Ranchi. Taos, quickly, your take on Bumrah and why Team India is even thinking about resting Bumrah.
Surprising that they're thinking, yeah, because it's going to be a big loss. Yeah, Bumrah, Sahil, exactly what he said. They are on the Bumrah is on their minds. They play. He's a demon. He's a demon for them. These guys, as soon as Bumrah comes and with the old ball I'm talking about, एक बार पुराने ball से आ गया, it's very difficult to play him. I mean that 6-wicket magical all comes into the mind and it becomes difficult for them to even touch the ball with their bat. So I don't, unless Bumrah wants rest himself, or unless if there was Mohammad Shami, I wouldn't mind resting Bumrah for the Ranchi test. But there's no Mohammad Shami. This guy is clueless. Mohammad Siraj is still struggling despite getting those 4 wickets. Mukesh Kumar, there are talks like Mukesh Kumar has come back to form, performing against in Ranji Trophy, taking 6 wicket haul, and then you have Akash Deep
versus Assam, Taus bhai. वो 10 विकेट का हुआ बना रहे लोग versus Assam, where Riyan Parag isn't even playing. He was the only batter who was scoring for Assam. So why are they like hyping up Mukesh Kumar with what he has done against Assam?
I wouldn't play him. मैं धर्मशाला में भी नहीं खिलाऊंगा यार मुकेश कुमार को अभी फिलहाल तो. Even if the conditions are friendly for fast bowlers. So Bumrah, I mean, it will be risky unless you want to lose the series. Unless you want to lose that advantage, it will be foolish to drop him, rest him. But Bumrah को अगर rest चाहिए तो you cannot say anything. कुछ निगल आया या कुछ ऐसे.
Also, it's gonna be anybody's guess.
You never know.
Maybe, and it's anybody's guess what Team India is thinking right now for the next test. Let's move to the next question, please. Aditya Thakur is asking, can we see a spin-friendly track in Ranchi as Boom will be rested? If Boom is rested. Jamie?
Bumrah or no Bumrah, you're not going to get a spin-friendly track. It just brings Basball right back in the equation.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question, please.
And it's clear. You have set a template now for yourself. Put a
Absolutely
decent wicket like this and bat. That's it. You have the batters now. You have the confidence now.
3 test matches in a row, Srini. Absolutely.
Yeah. Srini, I would request you to please answer this one as it's in the same lines about the Ranchi pitch. Sunny is asking, what's Ranchi pitch typically like?
It's been that's the thing about test matches in India. 6 साल 8 साल बाद एक वेन्यू पे जाते हो आप, तब तक तो आप भूल ही जाती हो कि पिछली बार वहां क्या हुआ था. Which is what I have been requesting BCCI to change. I mean, I can share this. I was having a chat with some of the BCCI officials. I said, don't do this. आपको Vizag, I respect all these centers, Ranchi, Vizag, आप इनको बढ़िया से बढ़िया ODIs दीजिए, अच्छे T20 bilaterals दीजिए. Test cricket needs to be restored to certain venues which have some serious history. But then I don't want to digress. What typically the wicket looks like, sorry, we wait for Rafael to go there. Other than the fact that MS Dhoni still once in a while goes to Ranchi, I don't know anything about the place.
Okay. Sahil, any inputs on that? Because you've been tracking the domestic cricket as well. And
it's going to be Surama, it's going to be a typical Rajkot kind of wicket. Black soil wicket. There's not much difference in temperature. It'll be slightly cooler in Ranchi than in Rajkot because yes, last 5 days have been last 6 7 days for me have been very pleasant. That's why like I've been grappling with cold cough fever like for 3 days because sudden shift in the temperature like three times a
Yeah.
day alag tarike ka temperature hai. But Ranchi will be cooler than this for sure. Ranchi will not be
Okay.
like this hot, so it will be a black soil wicket, good bounce for fast bowlers. Again, they'll be interested for the first 2 days, and you are going to see such first surfaces. अब हैदराबाद के अंदर वो कारीगरी किया था ना, थोड़ा पानी यहाँ थोड़ा पानी वहां, थोड़ा कम थोड़ा ज्यादा, वो like it came back to bite you, right? So I think they
Yep.
should stick to this order which they have in Vizag and Rajkot. These are good wickets, and Dharmshala is going to be on expected lines. Dharmshala ke Ranji
Hmm.
games have been really good, really high scoring. So like you'll expect similar surfaces in the next two tests for sure.
Okay. Next question, please. Sports fans saying only big question is whether a legend like Root can mix his approach according to situation. He means that can Root change his approach according to different situations or not? Jamie, we discussed about England cricket at length, but what about Joe Root?
Look, he's obviously going through a really, really bad phase. He's never really had a bad tour of England as such, you know. Again, but you look at his stats before a ball was bowled in this series. His batting average since Bazball had gone up by almost 3 runs per innings. His strike rate had gone up by about 23, 24. So there's a lot of positives. And I said this on one of the shows. Joe Root's got a couple player of the series, at least one player of this series award, and a couple man of the match awards since Bazball came into existence. But unfortunately, like it happened to all great players, 4 मैच में नहीं रन बनाते हैं, 2-3 वहियात शॉट्स खेलते हैं तो दुनिया उन पे चढ़ जाती है. If people actually watched English cricket since Basball, they would know that what Joe Root has gained is far more than what he's losing right now. Of course, I'm
Hmm.
I'm not
True.
I'm not just justifying you trying to reverse lap Boomerang giving a catch to second. मैं वो नहीं कह रहा हूँ. Shot was horrible, you know. But if people actually knew how Joe Root played since Basball came around, they'd understand that the the opportunity cost is not as bad as it seems.
Okay. Next comment, please. Ankar Biswas saying problem for England is almost no contribution from their number 4 and 5 with bat. Taus, your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, and that is one of the reasons. I mean, you saw top order batting, Zach Crawley doing something, contributing with the bat initial stages, 2 half centuries. Then Ben Duckett, you saw the way he's attacking, he got a century. The problem lies in the middle order, definitely. I mean, that
Yeah.
is where exactly they have to work. Ben Stokes, Johnny Bairstow, what these guys are doing, what is their role? Is it defined? I don't know. Basball ने completely इनको clueless कर दिया है. I mean, the only way that again यार pattern उन्होंने वही set किया है. Joe Root again, number 4 batsman Joe Root, Jimmy. I mean, I don't know. Joe Root shouldn't, it doesn't work in India. I mean, the kind of batting what Joe Root does. I mean, he has been successful in the past without Basball. It doesn't work. Basball doesn't work for Joe Root in India because the wickets are slower. It doesn't come onto the bat easily. I mean, he's a touch player. He likes to time the ball, so it works in those kind of conditions where the ball is, the wicket is good. It's pacey. It comes nicely onto the bat. But when it comes to India, Joe Root has to adopt. So अगर आप मिडिल ऑर्डर नंबर 4 बैट्समैन जो बहुत ज्यादा क्रूशियल रोल प्ले करता है, विराट कोहली हैज बीन डूइंग इट एट नंबर 4, तो वहां पर अगर धीरे धीरे बिल्डअप होने लगा, वहां से इंपॉर्टेंट, यू गेट अ गुड स्टार्ट, सडनली आई मीन यू आर फॉलिंग लाइक 9 पिन्स. What happens?
Hmm.
It's because of the middle order which is cracked, and thanks to Joe Root. फिर अभी बेन स्टोक्स के ऊपर पूरा बर्डन आ जाता है. बेन स्टोक्स suddenly, I
Yeah.
mean, you see, he's also an aggressive player. He likes to attack, but then he goes into his shell. So that is one of the
Hmm.
reasons why it's affecting the
Hmm.
baseball जो reflect होता है, जो होना चाहिए वैसा नहीं हो पा रहा है इंडिया में, because of the lack of runs from middle order. Exactly, I agree
Hmm.
with that.
And
They must be
also the
working
thing
on that.
is, Duckett and Crawley can win you a great session, can, on a special day win you a test match. You want to win a series, you want Joe Root and Ben Stokes. That's
Yeah,
the difference. That's what sets apart, you know.
the two teams. Yeah. Okay, next question, please. Atharv Joshi is saying the real test of the baseball starts from now. Will they be able to stick to their plan after the criticism, or they will change their plans? Absolutely, yes, Atharv. The Ranchi test will be a really, really big test for the England team, and that's what we've been discussing so far in this live session. Let's move to the next question. This one's for Sahil and Jamie from Priyanshu. Finally, Oli Robinson playing in fourth innings. Bashir should also play. Jamie and then Sahil.
Like I mentioned a while ago, जो changes इनको अभी करने पड़ेंगे, right? So there, it's all good to rock up and be aggressive and say they say that, but when you lose two matches, चलो विशाखापट्टनम was good, but I mean ये जो उन्होंने किया था, going from 207 for 235 to what? I think they lost 8 wickets for 90 odd runs. That is a shock for Basball. और दूसरे पारी में 50 में 7 थे, वो मार्कवुड ने 35 मारे, तो आप 122 तक पहुंच गए, right? Now they're gonna have to seriously consider making change. अब तक part of Basballers कोई नहीं यार, चलेगा. Now, like I said, this is their biggest test ever. Do we now drop James Anderson? वैसे ही Anderson को हम बात कर रहे हैं workload. Bumrah still what 29, 30, I don't know, early 30s. This man is 41 going on 42. He has to be rest and rotated. और जो जायसवाल ने उसको एक ओवर में 19 मारे और दूसरी पारी में 21, अब इनका हो गया. Ollie Robinson can vary his pace. He can also bat. So to my mind, definitely Ollie Robinson should play. Bashir. Now Bashir, I don't know. Let's see what Sahil says. Bashir is an interesting one because you built him up. We all built him up. I built him up. And then he didn't get the visa. No problem. Dusre man, he looked good. And then you dropped him. Fact that they were just picking one pacer. Forget the fact that Mark Wood went wicketless in 25 overs in the first match. He had India on the mat. There, लोग भूल गए. जडेजा और रोहित ने जो पारी खेली भाई, मैच वहां पे सेट हुआ.
Yeah.
पलटा तो day 3 पे, right? So, but again, Ben Stokes didn't go to Mark Wood for the longest time. So it's these kind of questions. Do we now go back to our boy wonder Shoaib Bashir? I would say Ranchi, you do not need a second pacer. Back the same strengths which you backed if you actually believe in Basball, I'm talking about them, not us. If they actually believe it, go back to your left field bowl call of playing one pacer, and I would make it Ollie Robinson. And I would also I would drop Mark Wood because look, the guy bowled a lot of overs. He's quick. He looked finished. I don't think he can play this test match. There's no 9 days of golf and PS4 and Call of Duty in Abu Dhabi. Mark Wood say hoga nahi back-to-back test matches. Is Anderson se to katai nahi hoga. I would play these two names irrespective of what tinkering they have to do.
Okay. Sahil, do you second that?
No, I would really want Ollie Robinson to come because from what I saw of him in Rajkot nets before the game got underway, I was getting a feeling that he could well play ahead of Mark Wood. But Mark Wood justified his selection with that short ball barrage right through his 2 innings. But Ollie Robinson definitely deserves a look in because height hai, movement hai, variation hai, sab kuch hai, what you need on a good black soil wicket. And James Anderson, yes, you need to give him rest and keep him fresh for Dharamshala. So Ollie Robinson should come in, and I really want them to drop Rehan Ahmed, boss. Rehan Ahmed, what is he trying to do? क्या चाहता है वो? मतलब ये लोग नहीं आउट होंगे यार. वो ये श्रेयस अय्यर नहीं है, ये सरफराज खान है. वो तोड़ देगा ऐसे बॉलर को पूरा दिन, मतलब आंख पे पट्टी बांध के मारेगा सरफराज खान रेहान अहमद जैसे बॉलर को. So Shoaib Bashir should come in for Rehan Ahmed because if not anything, Shoaib Bashir could give you a lot of control. Tallish, kiddish. I was very impressed of what videos I saw before he arrived in India. लंबा था, zip दिख रहा था आपको उसके हाथ से निकलता हुआ. Now that his visa is sorted, get him in the 11, and Rehan Ahmed should probably be dropped now. I don't know what Ben Stokes is seeing in him which we aren't.
Okay.
I saw a video
Now
of Rehan Ahmed in the earlier days of Shane Warne, bowling with Shane Warne, and then Shane Warne praising him, talking about this guy being a future prospect. Funny लग रहा है मुझे आज देख कर यार ये. I mean, is this was this your future prospect? Prodigy. Very ordinary.
Okay. Okay. Next question, please. Sony Upendra Singh, does English team have spinners to bowl team out on surface like Rajkot? This will expose them now. Oh yeah, we are talking about the Ranchi test match, and we've discussed each and everything at length, Sony. So yes, it'll be a really big test for the English side going to Ranchi. Next question, please. This one's for Sahil Bhavya Singh. Imagine Mukesh in place of Siraj and Rajkot, and England would have scored 250 for 2 instead of 207 for 2. Akashdeep seems much better than him in any condition. And actually, I've got a lot of questions around Akashdeep, Sahil. People are asking, do you think Akashdeep as a far better option than the others? And should he get a chance in the 11 in the test matches ahead?
No, 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 no. I'll still stick with Mukesh. No matter how he bowled, he looked very good in South Africa. He's a proven performer in the domestic circuit. No matter what garbage he dished out in the game he played when Siraj was rested, but he's not a bad bowler. He's a good bowler. He has control. But if Bumrah isn't playing and Siraj and Mukesh are bowling in Ranchi, 50 for 2 is on the cards for sure. You
Okay.
can't. I just can't come to a probable reality that Bumrah won't be there in Ranchi and you'll have Siraj and Mukesh Kumar. You need control, penetration, depth. That day 3 morning was set up by Jasprit Bumrah, exploited by Kuldeep Yadav at the other end, and the finishing touches were applied by Mohammad Siraj. It's as simple as that. Those 7 overs with Bumrah bowled, first hour, non-stop till the drinks interval. Those kind of played with England's head, boss. हिल रहे थे वो खेलते हुए, नहीं खेल पा रहे थे. रांची में धागा खोल देंगे ये लोग, बेन डकेट और जैक क्रोली. ब्रैडमैन लगेंगे आपको खेलते हुए ये, अगर बुमराह बॉल नहीं डालेगा इनको.
Yeah. Yeah. Which means Bumrah is really very important for Team India in the coming match as well. But as Sahil mentioned in this live a few moments before, that there might be a possibility that Team India might rest Jasprit Bumrah. Well, what are your thoughts on that? You can let us know in the comment section, as we all know how Bumrah is for Team India. He's very, very important. But what are your thoughts? Do let us know in the comment section. For now, let's move to the next question. Giant Slayer is saying English media put this series as Basball versus Bunsen. Okay, thus completely removing the agency of Indian players and making it pitch versus their players, and also insinuated that India can't win on non-turners. Well, I would not like to comment on what English media have put. I've read that, what they said. Sahil, Srini, I mean, this is open for each and every one on our panel. If anybody would like to comment on this.
No, I'll quickly take this comment because this is the impression which we're giving after every home series in India, that we are so worried out to play on true surfaces that we kept dishing out rank turners one match after the other. But this series, as it will be important when it comes to the legacy of Bazball, it clearly restores order when it comes to home tests in India.
Yeah.
Because your kids will be looked after. Imagine a Sarfaraz Khan coming out to bat on an Indore Mahifield. Imagine Yashasvi Jaiswal playing in Nagpur, the series for the pitch for the last series. You need pitches like these where your batters grow in confidence for assignments abroad. You just can't keep them in unknown territory at home and then expect them to do well in hostile conditions abroad. So this is a good
Yeah.
start for Indian cricket, more than what people think about us.
Yep, that's right. Okay, next comment, please. This one's for Srini. Jayanta Kumar is saying, you talked about venues. Why BCCI is not giving any big test matches to Eden Garden?
I don't know under the rotation policy when did they last give a test match to Eden, but I'm right. I completely agree with this. It is absolute nonsense the way वो मिठाई का डब्बा जैसे होता है, आप खोलते हैं और आप मिठाई बांटते हैं, वैसे आप टेस्ट मैच बांट रहे हो. You can't do this. It's absolute disrespect to the game. You have to hold certain test centers in absolute respect. Kind of pay attention to the kind of history that the certain test centers have. Eden Gardens obviously one of those grounds. You have the Chidambaram Stadium. You have Wankhede. You have I mean like you have the Chinnaswamy. You can include Mohali. These venues have had great history where Test cricket is concerned, and I think it seriously needs to be respected, especially when you have big teams coming in. Like look at England for example. Just between the in the last 10 years, if I had to draw a parallel, let's say from 2012 onwards, Peterson, last time England did spectacularly well was back then in the 2012 Test match. Where do I draw any kind of comparison when England is coming here? I would want to look back at the KP Test match and kind of set Wankhede as a backdrop to whatever the rivalry is all about, right? Or more lately, like go back to 2021, use Chennai as a backdrop for where the series began, what happened, where India made a comeback, and how did they kind of finally take away the series from England. So there needs to be some kind of a narrative to Test cricket. Without narrative, Test cricket is not going anywhere. You need to save the narrative, respect the narrative, back the narrative. That is what great test playing nations do. The Oval in England retains its charm and its history and its importance
Yeah.
because of the long history that it dates back to. You go to the Oval and the first thing that you are in awe of the venue for the kind of test cricket the venue has seen. Same for some of the biggest grounds, whether in West Indies or in Australia or wherever. you know, that is being maintained. You know, come what may, England पागल थोड़ी ना है कि come what may, you और venues को back कर सकते हैं वो, but come what may, they will make sure that, you know, Nottingham, an Oval तो obviously is a very big venue, but you know, historic test centers are respected. Same for Australia. When you go there, you will play a test match as MCG, SCG. You know, there's no running away for that. So these are things that need to be taken into consideration. I think we are pathetic when it comes to understanding what these things mean. What should an ideal home season be like? Why should we respect a home season? Why should we develop? Oh, hey, nahi, humne kabhi na kabhi kiya. Very briefly, I remember between 2011 and 2014, we came to giving it a thought. Everything again went under the.
Right. Okay, last question, please. This one, okay, this is about Sahil. से हमारे पास
He's-
दो ज़्यादा player of spin.
He is taking a dig at me. Ujjwal Maurya is reminding me the word I used for Shreyas Iyer in the past. I still stick to the word. I hope he gets his act right. And I still feel that he's a very good player of spin bowling. But at times it's more than the mental thing than the skill on exhibition. We still believe, I'm sure all of us do, that Shreyas is a quality player. कई बार होता है यार, you undergo a lean patch where you don't have the things in order when it comes to your mental space. So I hope he cracks the code in the IPL. He's a good player. और सरफराज तो रोहित वाली बात बोलूं, कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा उसके बारे में. बस खेलने दो उसको.
Yes. Okay. Well, it was a great discussion with you all around Basball. Was really, really good listening to all your thoughts and our viewers' thoughts as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining with me on this live session. We'll see you soon in some other session and with some other story. Thank you so much. Till then, take care and have a good night.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.